Now,
Absolutely.
now experience teaches me that, a whole bunch of shit I don't gotta try. I look and say that's silly, but stuff that works and I see and I learn, man, I always keep an open mind and ask people. Me and Jeff, that's all we talk is boxing.
Mm-hmm.
In private. Like, man, what you doing with this? Man, I should have did this. We need to do that. So I enjoy that process and understanding that a trainer needs to evolve constantly because each individual brings a whole different set of skills or
Yes.
lack thereof.
Yes.
Or lack thereof. So when we doing this podcast, I'm saying let me watch the ones I enjoy, see what they doing right, and then and I ain't afraid, I ain't shy. I ask anybody anything. Hey, how you do that shit? Because I'm trying to do that.
Yeah, right.
I ain't
about your graphics. I was like, how'd you
right. Stuff like
I'm
that.
the same.
And I'm all thumbs, but we getting it done. So I'm enjoying the ride, and you're one of the ones I wanted to reach out to get on the show, man. Especially how involved you are with the USA Boxing, the young champions, and all the people you support and help my kids and everybody else. I say, man, we need to get Christine on this thing, man.
I thank you. It's my pleasure. It really is. It's so funny that what you're talking about with the boxing and the different styles. And yeah, there's a basic way of boxing, but then everybody has their talents and their weaknesses. I was just talking about that with Jenny Fuchs, and we were talking. And speaking of that, Q, he didn't have the orthodox amateur style that's like textbook, but nobody could beat him. I loved that kid. I still do.
That's because I didn't know it. My coaching didn't come from amateur boxing, right?
Yeah.
We fought as kids, and then I was done with fighting as a kid, and a buddy of mine that turned pro, he actually reached out and said, bro, I need your help in the gym, man. And so I learned to develop professional fighters, regardless of how. And so the first day walking the gym, I said, son, the reason why I'm going to know what to do with you is because, believe it or not, I was built just like you as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I said, and secondly, I know exactly your advantages, but more importantly, I know your hindrances and how to hide them and sharpen them.
Yes, thank you. You hide them. Thank you.
Right.
Exactly.
So and I never go in fights going, what's this amateur style? What they looking? No. We gonna win. And by the time you turn professional, watch what we do. And that's and he's taught me things. I was silly like you need to start boxing so young and all that. Man, that dude completely changed my mind about that. Yeah. Because now when a 15, 17, hell, 20-year-old just made 21. Yeah. And now he's 30 and look at the things he's done and hopefully will do. So he's changed my mind about things, but I'm not closed-minded to that. I'm saying if a kid comes to the Chateau Fresh, I say when the kid comes into the gym and he say, man, I want to be a fighter, I'm much more apt to believe him if he's 20 because he ain't got no reason to be here. His mom and daddy ain't brought him up here. So if he could make the paces and earn it, we might could do something with him, So it's just all part of that evolution, man. And when I hear fight trainers, some of them I know, and they say, well, that ain't how I do it, man. So if he don't fit me, it just ain't gonna work. I said, well, that's kind of like admitting your limitations as a trainer. That's saying, nah, if it takes this to win, well, I can't do it, so I need somebody else. And I don't believe in that, man. I don't believe in.
We had a 67-year-old walking through the gym. Coach is like, let him jump rope for 12 rounds. So he passed out.
Yeah, put him on that jump rope. Shit. Fresh gave him out the mouth. He was all right.
I want to see the video.
Instagram, we are live with Christine Lopez from In the Ring with Christine. Make sure you go up to the link and subscribe to our YouTube. What all goes on in your day?
When I'm in camp, we have a pretty strict schedule. We're up in the morning. We have weigh-ins at 7 a.m. And then the kids will eat, and then about an hour and a half later, we start our first session. Or it's either boxing or conditioning. We switch it up a little bit. They'll have their lunch, and then we'll have either the conditioning or the boxing, whatever we didn't do earlier. The sessions are about anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, depending on what we're doing. If we're sparring, it can go on. But usually when I'm in camp, I do go to bed fairly early. I say 10, but then I also have to keep up with, my page and what's going on in boxing. Yeah. So I'll, get on the internet and see who's fighting and not, because you kind of lose connection with the outside world. And especially when you go overseas and the hours are different. So I always have to see, oh my gosh, who's fighting, what's going on. And I really try to keep up with that. It's a busy time. When I get home, it's a little bit more relaxed. I do own a gym. We have 2 sessions, a morning session and an evening session. It's at 9 in the morning. So it's not too early. So I'll get my stuff done in the morning, go to the gym, come home, do my wifely, motherly things around the house, and then go back to the gym. It's constant. Before COVID, I was also traveling to cover fights. But I love it. And I have a very supportive husband. I mean, he knows I'm crazy. And he's okay with it,
What's his role in this dynamic duel?
Well, he has people would say, he's got the real job. No, he holds it down at home, and he's also a coach, okay. So we own the gym together. In 2007, I left the gym we were at for many years, and I was like, we're opening our own gym. He's like, yeah, okay, sure. And I mean, I was on it. When I want to do something, I'm just like, we're doing it. And, many years later, we still got it going. It's Texas
the rest is history.
Club, and it's fun.
Now, tell us about the club. Tell the viewers, because, we do have a lot of.
We ask for a $50 donation from boxers to come and train there. If they don't have it, they still can come. We came from a gym where if you had tattoos, or if you weren't in high school or weren't doing something with your life, you weren't allowed there. And
really?
I didn't like that. Yeah, I didn't like it. We've taken in all walks of life. I don't care. We've had all walks of life, and there's no judgment. You come in there, you want to box, we got you, And over the years, we've trained many, many boxers, and now we're training their children, but they never forget. They never forget that we didn't slam the door in their face. We accepted them. We're all different. But the thing that bonds us, 2007, we have some other coaches. A kid that we trained when he was a kid, Robert, now he's married with children. He came back to volunteer, and it's all volunteer. Nice. We have another coach that came from New York, Coach Abdullah. And then we have some other coaches that drop in every now and then, and help that used to box with us. It's great, it really is. And
talk about boxing, man. Being from Dallas, you had your hometown guy fighting this past Saturday.
I was very proud of him. And one of my sons sees him out a lot, doing his promotional stuff. And he's like, no, he's good, Mom. I've talked to him. He's good. And so I was, like I said, as a mom, nervous, but as a boxing fan, super excited. And I was so happy to see his victory, I was proud of him. A lot of people were saying that, he was fighting, Garcia, who was washed up and nobody. And I'm just like, he's dangerous. He's still dangerous, guys.
Yeah, it was a very live fight. And Danny knows how to fight southpaws. And if he would have caught him with a hook, I was impressed. I was one of the people that kept saying, this is a real fight. It's a live fight. I'll admit, I told Coach, if Earl's not 100, he's gonna get caught. Yeah. But I mean, he looked great. Coach, what were your thoughts? You were one that was kind of nervous as well, along with the rest of us.
Yeah, it seemed like that was the minority, and I didn't see how it could possibly be. I was scared to death. Me, yeah. I said I don't see how a kid could have that sort of head trauma that comes with a accident like that. 13 months later, he's about to get hit in the head by elite welterweight, and I didn't really see this ain't no fight people that much. I guess he chose, game plan, high, not pressing the gas, and I said this kid's gonna come forward on Earl and try to fight him, and he did. He just seen early that you got to pay for that. So I was nervous. Coach, he wouldn't be in the of his performance, which is insane to me. But and Danny, I hate to say it, when